Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. Before I get started here, let me say one thing. If this video ends abruptly, that's because I'm getting a phone call. I called my sister about 30 minutes before I started this video, and she hasn't returned my call yet, and I know that she will, so I don't know if it will happen while I'm still filming or not. So if this ends abruptly, I will come back, but whenever my phone rings, it will cut off the video, so and abruptly at that. So if that happens, you'll know why. Okay, we're starting out here today. Look at these green beans. Not only are they growing, but they're starting to flower. So I'm ready to start getting some production here. I have them uncovered. I'm gonna cover them up because, of course, we're expecting thunderstorms within the next hour. That's why I'm on here a little early. It's 5 o'clock. I could not find, and I need to put another leaf in here. I could not find a rubber band in the house. Any other time I'm tripping over them, okay? And so I just took a little of my cotton yarn and I tied it up. And so on Tuesday, when I go back to Menards, I'll make sure to get a big bag of rubber bands to keep in the greenhouse for occasions such as this, okay? They'll be used for gardening only, in case I need to tie something or, use a rubber band to make it quicker. Okay, so that's it for out here. Patty Pan is doing okay. It was a little stressed earlier and I hit it with a little water, so he is bouncing back. And you guys, here I go again. I'm reconsidering that garden spot over there and that table with the extra room in it. I know I'm gonna plant out some pole beans. That's a given. But what I'm thinking about doing is moving a few of my tomatoes out here. They're growing and I have tomatoes coming on the cherry tomatoes and the green zebra stripe, but I think that they're growing a little slow. They may benefit better from being out here in the dirt. So I might move one, not both of them, because see, squirrels like tomatoes. They killed me on my Cherokee purples a couple of years ago. I had some beautiful ones and the squirrels got me good right when it was time to get them plucked, okay? So I don't want that to happen again. Flowers still doing good, and they actually surprisingly bounced back from yesterday's storm, but I don't know what's going to happen with today's. Another thing that happened too was the hay dried on top. So I flipped it earlier. And I see that it's drying now, and it was dry over here on this side. So I shifted a lot of that sopping wet hay over there, and then I shifted the dry hay from over here. And so I'm seeing now, well, not only is the dry hay, right there on top and at the bottom, because I just grabbed the whole clumps. I have some wet still there, but that I didn't have enough over here to cover this whole bed. So I flipped what I couldn't get transferred over. So that's why you're seeing these wet spots here. But the potatoes were drier. And also the other thing is it's dry now. But with this new rain coming, here we go again. It's going to get wet. But because of the hotter weather, and it's less humid now, I think that I'll be okay with the hay. So I'm just going to keep a beady eye on this bed and the bed up front. The other thing, when I checked the bed up front today, the potatoes stood back up. So that lets me know that the hay up there had dried, and sure enough, it had. So I flipped that again, and so far, so good. The potatoes are saved for now. Okay, let's come in here real quick. We're going to do a little harvesting today. First of all, the grapes, actually, they're holding up. The leaves don't look no worse than what they did yesterday, which is good. For every day that I can keep these leaves on and keep them from dying, Remember when I did this the last time with my other great plant, mine, the leaves died immediately. That next day they were gone. Now I am noticing death of a grape cluster right there. But other than that, that one death, they're not dying thus far. My prayer is that they take root quick, and or at least survive until Tuesday, because I think on Tuesday when I get to Lowe's, what's with the ant, y'all? He probably came with the plant. When I get to Lowe's, I'm gonna see if they have any of that root starter stuff, and I will share that with Robert, and because Robert, we're sharing anyway, because he decided. Now I didn't keep my fruit. Remember I told y'all I had enough to make some raspberry jelly. I decided, nah, I'm not gonna do that just yet, because I have so much fruit in the freezer. I have blueberries in there. I have blueberries, I have pears, I have plums, the Italian plums that I bought at the now closed farm market last year, the one that moved to the burbs. And then what else do I have in there? Let's see, blueberry, plums, pears, and cherries that I bought at that farm market too. That stuff, and it's looking good. I looked at it the other day. I think that's what I'm going to make jelly out of this year. So I decided to forego the raspberries, the black raspberries. That can come at a later date or next season. But anyway, I have some shear gel and the thickening agent to make jelly, and Robert didn't have any. So I told him, come on over. I said, I have some. So he's going to use the shear gel to make some raspberry jelly. And in the meantime, shoot, I done lost my train of thought, y'all. Okay, so that's we'll just leave it at that. But but in the meantime, I can go to Home Depot since I get paid on Tuesday, and I can pick up the root starting stuff, and then I'll just tell him, come on over, because he's coming to get those trees anyway in a few days. He's just trying to run his friend down who can come and dig them up for him. And so once he does that, then I'll have both items, and then he can get the shear gel and he can get some of that root starter stuff. And then that's gonna help our chances, because if I can get these grapes started, I can save them for this year. It might not be many, but it's enough clusters to get me through to at least taste them and see how well that they do and how big they get. And then we're going to be keeping an eye. Don't think we're not going back to that spot. We're the only two who know about it. So we're going to be going back and looking at the fruit. In fact, Robert's going back in a couple of days himself to get some more of the raspberries. We did not get them all. We left the red ones. We only picked the blacks. And so there's so many thousands more. Y'all saw. And what Robert showed y'all yesterday wasn't half of it, because they spread it beyond and then way over on the other side too. We didn't even film over there until the end when we started getting some of the grapevines. So yeah, Robert will be returning there to get more. And then I'll probably return to get some too, just to eat, if nothing else. Okay, but so far, everything is doing good. Okay, cucumber. I wish it would produce for me. I was thinking, okay, when you look at this right here, let me get my finger there. This looks like a female cucumber, doesn't it? This is what I've been looking at for the past week here, but then all of a sudden they change up, and I don't know if it's a cucumber or just a leaf coming in, because they have disappeared. Now there's another one, but I don't know if it's a female cucumber or if it's just a flower or what. I really don't. And this is the first time I've attempted planting a parthenogenic cucumber, which is supposed to give you a guaranteed harvest. I wish it'd get going, because I don't know what to think here. But patience. I'm impatient. I can tell y'all that. Okay. Our harvest today is, first of all, I'm not going to mess with the creeping rosemary yet. I put some sticks in there so it can creep on up the stick and go beyond. I'm going to try a couple of sprigs of the mojito mint since it's doing so well. And I want the growth to explode on it even further. So the best way to do that is to harvest some. So I'm gonna cut those long stems down today since it's growing so well. And I just wanna see what it tastes like. I'm gonna put some in some water. My other harvest is going to be French tarragon. I've only harvested in here 2 times, and it's been a while since I've harvested. So it's time to get some of this because it has gone ham, just like out front. Here's some. I'm gonna take that one. Let's see. I'm gonna take a piece of this here. Oops, well, just got that one. It broke off. I'm gonna take some of this one right here, and I'm just gonna give it a haircut. And believe me, it will take off again. And then that rosemary that I put with it, that's just a regular rosemary. It's even growing, but I'm not gonna take that yet. I'm gonna let that get a little bit bigger. I did catch one slug today, just one. And there he is, drowned in the beer. And so I topped off everything with some more beer on today, just in case. This is the big plant that Robert got me that I cut down. And like I said, the leaves are strong. So these look just stressed from it being dug up. I'm thinking if I can get it to go on and take root, those leaves will come back and I will save the grapes. And it can take off and just do what it's gonna do, just like it was doing out there in nature. So here's hoping, my fingers are crossed. Okay, so let's see, I'll harvest after I get off because it won't be long before I'm done. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say is this has been the think tank garden this year. Not only did I have to figure out this greenhouse, but I also had to figure out a lot of challenges that have come my way. And so far, so good. With you guys' help, for instance, with the slug, Grandma Sandy and Renee, and I think someone else has suggested the beer, Diana, I believe. With you guys' help with a lot of the things that have occurred this year, it has solved the problems that I've had. So it's always something. Okay, so now the potato problem seems to be stable. The wood, I was trying to get that board yesterday and it fell all the way down. The only way for me to get that wood out of there because of the greenhouse pipes and stuff is I'm gonna have to take this whole table down so that I can get to it, okay? And I am not doing that. So it will remain there until forevermore, okay? Okay, then I couldn't find a piece of wood that would help, but I put that one there because it reached in a diagonal fashion. So I think that once it rains today, if it rains real hard, I might get a little bit of sagging, but it'll be nothing like yesterday because at least in the middle, I have that blocked off. So I decided, do I want to spend the money to get the extra wood? I think I'm gonna do that anyway because it's going to snow. You know, we're gonna get snow, and usually a hot summer equals a bad winter. So I'm not getting complacent. I don't care if the last 6 winters have been really mild. We are due for a strong, hard winter. And everybody's gonna have a fit when it happens because a lot of people have gotten complacent, but I know better. And so, but the hot summer usually equals a bad winter where there's snowstorm on top of snowstorm. Then on top of that, we had that solar eclipse and all these other celestial events, and we still have a couple more coming before the end of summer. That knocks everything off. And then one of those darn space shuttles went up. It might have not been in the US, but China then started to shoot some up. You know, we stopped after the last disaster, but it's not over. So, and China is part of the world, so I'm expecting all kind of weather events to happen. You know, so, and then, you know, not to mention global warming, the ozone, and all this other stuff that we're worried about. So because of that, I'm preparing. So I decided on last night, I went to Angie's List, and so I was able to type in exactly what I need. I typed in for a handyman service, a professional handyman. And it asks, the normal questions. And then it asks, no, it wasn't Angie's List. It was this other one, but I forgot the name of it. But it's like Angie's List. So it asks for you to explain exactly what you need help with. I typed it in. I explained that I just had a greenhouse built. I told them it's a cheaper greenhouse from Amazon, but if you modify it correctly, it can last for up to 20 years. In fact, I've seen some YouTube videos of greenhouse modifications. Pull it up, y'all, and y'all will see how a greenhouse like mine can actually, some people have had theirs over 10 years and they do updates. And every now and then they might have to change the tarp out every few years, but the greenhouse itself has withstood all types of weather. So that's what my goal is for this one. I don't want to have to buy another greenhouse if I don't have to. And so because that plastic wasn't drum tight, that's the correct way to do it. They said the secret is in putting on that tarp, it has to be drum tight. It causes any type of snow, rain, or anything to just roll off. And so I understood that concept, and this one should have been done that way, and it wasn't. And I kept stressing it. And perhaps JD just couldn't get it that tight, But when I told him the best way to do it based on the video, and I sent him a copy of the video, I told him the best way to do it is to stretch out the tarp on the inside of the greenhouse, and then you stretch the tarp out on the outside, you pull it as tight as you can, and then you staple down the wood. He didn't do that. He stretched it on the inside, and I told him it's not going to staple down, it's not going to hold, and it didn't. And so when I tried to pull it out myself, when I went over it, I wasn't strong enough to do it, and so I knew at that point, okay, this is a bust. But I didn't know it was going to be as bad as it was, because some areas were a little bit tighter, but each time that it rains, it gets looser. Now it's not going to come loose unless it tears from the nails. So my solution is to get the professionals in here. I explained what needs to be done, and I explained it precisely, and y'all know I can do that because I'm very detailed. That's why these videos be running 2,000 minutes, okay? But I explained it, I typed it out precisely, so whoever contacts me will know. Now it's the weekend, so I don't expect to hear from anyone until Monday. And so whoever calls, whoever can give me the best price, I may end up putting another $100 to $200 into this thing. But if it means that I'm going to have a drum tight shell for this greenhouse, it will be worth it. It will be well worth it. And then most of the videos that I saw, they said, okay, I only paid $120 or whatever for the greenhouse, which is what I paid for this one. But they all said I ended up putting at least $300 to $400 into it to get it right. And it pays for itself because it will last you up to 20 years. You might have to change that tarp out, if you get a hole in it or something like that. But for the most part, it will last, so the frame itself, so we will see how that plays out. So I just wanted to tell y'all about that solution. And so that's about it for today. I'm out here because it's nice in here now. It's still 89 degrees outside, but it's only 79 here in the greenhouse. I just checked the temperature. And so I'm out here working on, this is some old yarn that I had that I never used. Well, I've used it, but I've taken the projects down. I'm making a thin shawl, and what it is, this is silk and alpaca. It's 50% silk, 50% alpaca, and I'm gonna make this piece as long as I can get it. It's gonna be like an extra wide scarf that I can do anything with. I can wrap it around my neck, I can throw it over my shoulders as a shawl, I can throw it over my head, whatever. And it'll be for next summer, of course, because I'm not going to finish it anytime soon. It's a small ball, but the small ball goes a long way. And I'm working on this as a side project because that weighted blanket that I'm working on with that Lion Brand velvet yarn that I have, I ran out and I only have 4 more skeins to go. They discontinued that yarn because I had bought it on clearance anyway, so I already knew it was discontinued. But I didn't have enough to finish that weighted blanket But I looked online and I found that a store 20 miles from me has 6 skeins of it left. And since it's discontinued, it's not happening. And the 6 skeins are real cheap. So on Tuesday, when I get paid, I'm going to make that trek 20 miles to go and buy those 6 skeins so I can finish off that blanket, because I love the way it feels. It's nice and soft. It's heavy. You know, it's weighted. And it's going to last me forever. And I'm going to put that right on my bed to use during the winter months to keep me warm and to provide weight, especially if I'm going to be stuck with that CPAP. I want the best sleep possible. So I'm going to go on and get that yarn. It's going to cost me less than $30 to finish that blanket, which is good. You know, because that yarn regularly was $12.99, I think, a skein, if I'm not mistaken, when it was regular price and it was on the market. And the clearance price, I think, is 75% off. So hopefully they'll still have it Tuesday. I've been checking, and so far it's been still there. And then there's another store that had like 4 skeins of it, and that store is even further. So I'm trying to avoid going to that other one. I'll do the 20 miles because it's out there by this mall that sells this popcorn that I like, and I am not supposed to eat popcorn, but guess what? I'm going to get it. It's that Chicago style popcorn. It's called, I forgot the name of it, but it's some good stuff, y'all. And I'm going to get the biggest bag I can find, and I'm just going to have to crunch it up, or, you know, I can chop it and eat it that way and take all the hulls out. It might take me forever, but I want that taste. Woo! Especially the mixture, the caramel mixed with the caramel mixed with the cheese. Whoa, oh man! If you've ever had Chicago style popcorn, you will know what I'm talking about. Good God Almighty! Whoa. Anyway, okay, it's 21 minutes here, so I'm gonna get off of here, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna get this harvest done and get in before the storm starts, because it can happen at any moment now. But yeah, I am thankful for my harvest yesterday holding up, and so let's hope that these propagations don't start to die off before Tuesday. And what I'll do is just pull them up, hit it with that root stuff, stick it back in, and then that way I will know that it's going to root real fast here. Well, I'll go by the directions on the package. It might say to do something totally different, but I've seen people use that root stuff, and when they've used it, usually within a week they have roots, if not sooner. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna get off of here, and I will talk to you all later, and may God bless you all. Although it's early, I'm going to post this later today, so you're looking at 5 o'clock Q. You might not see this until 10 o'clock tonight. It'll be late. Okay, and I need to watch the rest of you guys' videos. Diana, I didn't finish yours. I ended up falling asleep right after I responded to it, so I did not finish it. And so I'm going to finish your video, and then Renee, I need to finish yours too with the potato harvest. Ooh, and then who else? Golly, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. I saw your potato harvest today, and I am so happy for you. You got a nice slew of potatoes on today. So I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. I want to say Gwen. I'm not sure though. So if I got your name wrong, charge it to my head, not my heart, okay? But anyway, I'm loving these potato harvests. I am loving them. And so, and then Grandma Sandy, I still need to finish watching your garden tour video as well. So I responded to a lot of them, but I haven't finished watching them. But trust me, I watch every video from beginning to end. So I will be finishing those up. That's what I'm going to do now. While I'm sitting here crocheting, when I get inside the house, I'm going to start on the videos. So I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And see, that sun's coming out now. So that lets me know, yeah, we're going to get some storms. So hopefully those potatoes will hold off. And I just keep going on and on. Okay? Goodbye.